Hello. Uh, this is Mr. Woods, Soul Plane 1972, back with another episode, or actually, we're gonna call this the next part two of things you need to get started with. Uh, really, what you need to get started. Go over it again. A computer. You do need a mouse. I didn't say that in the first one. Do need a mouse. I would mouse with the scroll wheel on it, and actually some kind of controller if you can afford one. Xbox 360, as I say, we'll mention again, is probably the cheapest one. I looked at one is $39 or something like that at Walmart or wherever it is. Probably can find it way cheaper on eBay or Amazon. All right, let me give you some. What I want to do is give some pictures, show you some pictures, but you can go on the internet. Here's one site, chproducts.com. You can look at the pictures on here as far as the actually, this is a picture of the. I'm not going to even go into all of it, but this is a picture of the flight yokes. Uh, this is the Eclipse, which has got way more buttons. This is the more advanced one, and this is the uh, just the flight sim yoke. So this one got more buttons and more advanced. Go to the rudder paddles. You don't have to have rudder paddles. They would be nice if you can get some affordable. You can find some that's affordable. Hey, get them if they're cheap. I would suggest to go on websites and compare prices, and so you can find out which ones you want. But these actually have toe brakes right here. I'm gonna sure till you have toe brakes. Zoom in on the right quick. Toe brakes at the top of it. These actually slide. When one slides up, the other one slides back, or however they vice versa. Okay, they actually to control your yaw, or what that makes the plane kind of slide to the left or to the right. Uh, let's go to throttles right quick here. And pro throttle uh, is one just do with your hand, just up and down. Actually back and forth, if you will. Has these buttons that are programmable to throttle stuff. Okay, that's what they programmable to, and it's a very good. It's a good yoke too. I haven't used this one per se, but hey, most of them do what they supposed to do. Uh, Here's the throttle quadrant, which is pretty much the same as that, except it has the look more like the real plane look type thing. All right, it's got your throttles. You can set these to throttles, your mixture, your flaps, or however you want to do it. Or maybe you got three or four. Engines. You want to separate all the engines, one flaps, and you can change these buttons out too. So okay, that's pretty much all it is to it. They pretty much look the same. Most of them look the same, but they just different products with different companies. Flight stick. This is a joystick, pretty much flight stick. If you're gonna find a fighter jets, then this would be a good one to get. I'm just saying, you have to look and browse and internet, eBay, YouTube. They got 1,000 videos on what the flight sticks that you need to use or joysticks you need to use. That's just one. You can go onto this site here, CH Products, and look and order or have whatever you want to do to suit your fancy there. Uh, like I said, these buttons are programmable. I don't have this particular stick. I have another one. I think it's being discontinued, but you probably can find it. Got a SciTech stick, fighter stick that actually worked pretty well. So this is CH Products. You can go to chproducts.com and look at those and see what you want to get. If I would go there, you probably can find a lot of this stuff on eBay or Amazon. Here is SciTech. You go to scitech.com. This is the actual yoke and throttle quadrant that I have. As you can see, it's pretty much simple. We got more buttons on it. Programmable button. It also has one on the bottom, on the back side back here for your uh, uh, the programming with. Three modes that you can program it with to for your settings. It also shows a diagram of you can actually get uh, two of those and make, if you might have want to control all your engines, so you can put this as flaps or whatever, and this one as whatever you want, and then engine 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they are made to be compatible to operate. Just how to download the drivers for it. At the bottom of this, it shows you a lot of the games, simulator games, pretty much that are compatible with it. I won't go all over all of them, but the main ones to me are Microsoft Flight Simulator X, X-Plane, DCS World, um, War Thunder, and Arma 3. Hey, those are pretty well-known games, and they work all. This works with all of them, so you might want to look into it. Go on the internet, look at some YouTube videos on it, and see what you think about it. Uh, again, you don't have to have all of this, but they do help if you can afford it and get it at a good price. So I recommend to get something like that. Here's another. Just let you see one of these. If I can pull it up, the HOTAS. This is an I call it extreme because it got all the buttons and whistles, and it costs a pretty good penny as far as I know about it. You go on the internet and like I say, just look at it. But it's high tech, it's nice. I don't know if I'll get one or not. I like the yoke system, but I might just get one just for when I'm able to afford one. It also has the spring for tension in the joystick. It has a where you can replace this spring. It comes with these springs, so your liking may be a little firm or soft or however, but you can actually take this off and replace the springs on it. I think it's a very good deal. Like I said, able to afford it one day, I'll buy one or find one on the eBay or something that somebody is getting rid of or want to get rid of it. That is the newest, I think, the X56. The X52 flight system is the older uh, version of it, I guess you can say. It's the older version of it that, if I can get it to pull up, if they haven't discontinued it, I don't know whether it's discontinued or not. I can't get it to pull up though. So we'll just go back to that. I'm trying to pull it up one more time just to see. I couldn't get it to pull up. Anyway, this right here didn't mean to really actually go into this right here, but here are the systems. When you get where you flying a whole lot, this is a panel that you can get that actually does pretty much the same thing as this, but it has a lot more buttons and all that good stuff. Here is the X52 that I was trying to show you. Pro flight system, and this is the X52 just regular flight system. If I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me in the comments or whatever, this was the first one that actually came out. A lot of gamers or simulators use this, and some of them still are using it now. This one was, of course, upgraded, and this, I want to say, is the HOTAS system. Actually, it's the last one that came out. Also, your flight rudder pedals do the same thing as the other flight rudder pedals do. That was for CH products. Some people like these, and some people like the other ones. All of this other stuff that you see on here are when you get into adding stuff to your system is the radio panel. So you want to just click it on your flight simulator itself. You can actually, these are USB. You can actually buy these and set them to the side and make your whole panel. Put this on top, and when you tune your radios, you can just tune it with this, and it actually will work inside of the program along with everything else. These right here, your Pro Flight switch panel and your instrument panel. All this stuff will work in conjunction with each other as long as you download the drivers, which they have pretty good support in this area. Okay, so we will go and want to try to get this in this video to describe this home page. Not more the home page, but this page here, the interface when you first the game up and what you come to. If you're on the internet when you come to this, it'll it's advertised a lot of Steam stuff, cities that this U.S. cities right here. You can buy this as a scenery, and this is because of course you want to get the best that you can get when you be able to. So this just describes the scenery. Uh, Actually, new games that are out on Steam. Steam is actually its own platform that you go download. Uh, and you can buy Microsoft from it. As I know right now, you can get Microsoft on it, and there are a lot of host of games that you can go to the Steam store and buy within Steam. Um, PC Pilot magazine is a very great magazine. I actually have a few issues of it now. They are actually on the internet, so if you buy the issues of it, they're on the internet, and you can just download it. After you buy it, it'll download, and you can go through the latest issues of PC Pilot. So it's a good deal. Okay, we go to Free Flight. I want to explain something to you on Free Flight here, and I'm gonna do a very quick, if I can. Uh, Go through everything on here. Current aircraft, I'm gonna leave that right where it's at. It's a CRJ 700. We had Jackson International, Jackson, Mississippi Airport. That's where it's loaded at. The weather is fair. I'm gonna change that to clear skies. You can go in here and you can actually have real weather on it. It works okay with Flight Simulator, but they have other programs that you can go to, other sites to get to more accurate weather. Okay, and this is the time of day which you can change to whenever time that you want to fly, spring, whatever, summer. The date that you want to fly, all of that. If you want to change all that, your time, your month, all of that. So I just kind of changed it around right quick. It's clickable. Okay. Now let's go ahead on and go down to fuel and payload. I'm gonna simply put this as it is what it is. You want to change your fuel. This is showing how much empty weight, how much fuel the payload is, how much fuel that you have in there now. Okay, how much fuel you have in there now as to this CRJ 700. So actually the fuel, if you look at it, is maxed out. So the tank's on full. Basically, it's 2916, and it will go down as you sit there on the runway. And the maximum allowable is another. I mean, it's 2924. So subtract that, whatever that is, 8, I think, or whatever. So 8 pounds, and it will burn fuel as it sits on the runway. Or as the engines are running, rather. The payload, you can change that. Hey, the pilot, it's basically saying the pilot weighs 170 pounds and the co-pilot weighs 170 pounds, and you have 11,000 pounds worth of passenger. You can change all of that stuff. You can put how many, whatever you want to put in there. Okay, it's clickable. You change it, kind of play with it and see what you need to do. So I didn't change anything, so it's really sitting on a full tank. Load button is actually if you want to load some flights, which right now these are 2 flights that I made, and you'll get more into them. You can just save your flights or whatever and go to them, and it'll reload that flight exactly as it was. Let's save this right here. I can save this. This is what it's for. Save this, and it will load these specific things back up. Location, everything, it'll load that specific stuff back up. You just click it and click fly now, and it'll load it up. Let's do a quick flight plan. Okay, this is very quick and down and dirty. Okay, we're gonna go to now this flight plan is actually for this plane, this CRJ 700. I can change it and then it'll be a whole lot different, but for right now we're not. Let's go to start in Mississippi. We're going to start as a departure. We're going to go to Jackson, the international airport. The one that you see Montgomery County one on actually is where I stay at, but I wouldn't try to get a CRJ 700 in there. Let's put it like that. Okay, so it's gonna start at Jackson. You click International Airport, and that's what it'll start at that one right there. Okay, active runway. If you want to be at a ramp or gate or whatever this and that, you can click the gate or whatever. Okay, then just go to OK. Then just say we want to go to Memphis. Just say Memphis, Tennessee, because I can remember that one pretty much off the back. And just go to, click down and go to Tennessee, and then go to Memphis. And Memphis. Click Memphis, and you're gonna click International, Memphis International, and then just click OK. And for the CRJ, we'll go high altitude and IFR, okay, R, and find route, okay. And it's gonna find the route, and you can actually blow this screen up. What you're seeing right here, other airports and VORs and all of that stuff that you can get into later on to figure out. But you can actually blow this up. Sitting in Jackson, Mississippi. Blow it up, and it actually will show you the ILS that you can put your mouse over, and it'll say this is ILS 34 left. Okay, so it's kind of, and it'll tell you your cruising attitude, actually when you get cruising and all that, what that's gonna be your attitude. You're gonna be at pretty much the top of your cruise right there. Alright, then you go to your nav log, and just to be really, really simple with it, it tells you right here in the top part, Jackson International, Memphis International, distance 165.8 nautical miles. The fuel burn, you actually will burn an estimated 250 gallons at, which is 1677.2 pounds, 1600, about 1700 pounds. Estimated on time is actually when you get en route. It says en route will be 21 minutes. All right, you can go into all of this. Is just saying when you're leaving Jackson, and this is a VOR SQS with which you can put this number into your radios, and it'll actually go to, when you start understanding VORs a little bit more, you understand what it is. And then it's actually to another Memphis VOR, all right, and then to KMEM, which is actually the airport. Okay, you can go through this and look at how many miles it is from there to there, from there to there, how much fuel it actually burns from there to there. I mean, all of that is kind of self-explanatory. This is knots ground speed. This is what that means, ground speed, knots in ground. So you're gonna be at 473 knots. That's 21. What's the 21 is average? I mean, that's is taken in consideration. Okay. So okay, then once you do that, that's pretty much it. You just go to OK, and it's gonna ask you to save it. And I already have some saved in here, but I will just save this one again, and it's probably going to ask me to replace it because I already did this actual flight plan before. And just say replace it if you want to do. Now, it said, do you want to move your aircraft to the departure airport that listed? You want to say yeah, because I want to start right there so I don't have any problems. Okay, and now that plan, that's your plan. That's it. So when it starts, it will start in Jackson on the active runway. And it will also is going to go to have your route set up in the GPS actually, or in the plane, because this one does not have a working FMS or computer basically in it, because it's generic, or I haven't got it to work. Okay, so that's pretty much just a flight plan and all what he had to do. I mean, to get it up in the air. Failures, you can click this. I don't recommend that you turn none of this on, especially if you are a beginner. Leave it alone right now, because if you click some of this stuff, it will fail. It will sometimes fail on the first screen, and you don't know what's going on. I suggest to leave it alone until you get a little bit more into the flight simulator. Okay. All right. The missions let's say the missions are self-explanatory. they're all the planes pretty much that are listed that in your free flight that you can go through, and they have missions to go through them. It's pretty fun when you start messing around with it and see which one. I would recommend that you just go to a few of them, and so you got the different jets. Go to a few of them, play with them. You ain't pass all of them. Eventually you will. I'm not saying that you can't, but eventually you will. I have not been able to pass all of them. Okay, multiplayer. I don't know really nothing about it. I used to know a little something about it a long time ago, but I just actually left it alone because I forgot my account and all of that. Didn't write that stuff down or whatever. But I was getting to know it a little bit. I don't know nothing about it now really, so I'm gonna skip over it. Pilot records are this program takes a record every time you land, every time you take off, and all of that. How many airports you went to, how many you landed at, how many total hours, which I think the total hours are the big thing to me. It's just me. But it does show you all your certificates, which I have none. It's been a long time since I got some or whatever. So, hey, it just shows you all of that. Okay, let's go to the logbook. The logbook is what it says. It logs everything every minute. I know every minute that you use, it logs it. Okay, so as you can see up here in mine, I've been doing a pretty good with, as far as the August, I started actually getting back into my flight simulator. I bought a MD-80 and started messing with it, this and that, this and that. So it just logs that whatever you do. I actually started on this before the 11th in 2006, but I have restarted the program and lost some information and all that. Photos, you can take photos. They got a key binding, which is you want to take a photo, you mash F something. I took a few of them, but not a lot. You mash F something and it'll flash the picture, and it actually will save it here, okay, for you. All right. The Learning Center. Now, the Learning Center, I'm gonna take just a little bit more time to tell you that you really, really do need to look at the Learning Center. Yes, you can learn a whole bunch of stuff off of the internet. YouTube is very, very helpful. That's my best friend right now. I can pretty much find everything to do with anything that I want to do. But this right here helped me the most. Key topics. It tells you about the plane. It tells you pretty much really whatever that you need to get done or whatever, how to get started with everything. It gives you the key because a lot of people on the internet, they kind of assume that you're already into flight simulator and you already know how to do everything, or you know how to do this, you know how to do that. But that is not the key, the thing. It wasn't with me. There was a lot of people come on with a lot of planes and stuff, and I just could not keep up with them because I was thinking that this is the way the program's supposed to start out, and it didn't. So you get in here, and this is the place. This is your Bible, pretty much, when it comes to Flight Simulator X. Okay, especially via navigation. Really need to watch these right here. Okay. Sitemap is kind of like a glossary, but actually a glossary that explains everything, because you can go to scenery, weather, how to using your joystick, and it just really push you back to that chapter that you really want to know about right then. Basically, that's what it do. It just push you back, and it just gives you, it goes straight to what you want to know. Okay, so index is basically, it's kind of like the same thing. I mean, it clicks on to whatever you want to know. If you want to just skip, I suggest reading the majority of material yourself and just doing it like that. Okay, just doing it like that. That way you won't miss nothing. And if you do miss something while you're in flight or something, is you write stuff down so you can come back and look at it. Like I said, the biggest part of this is these are important, especially if you've never done them. This is the lessons part where the instructor, Rod, I call him Rod Machado. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think he says it but he's a personal instructor or whatever. So these lessons are very, very good for you to go through. I will point out, especially VOR, you need to really go through the VOR patterns because you're gonna use VOR in Flight Simulator pretty much all the time. It makes no difference whether you are flying a small plane or a big plane or whatever, because you have to understand VOR and how it works. So you really need to go through these specially. Just go through all of them. It will help. I promise you, it will help you. Okay. Now let's get out of that and go into your settings. And briefly, these settings are, I just customized. I put them all the way down so my computer wouldn't crash. A low-end computer would not run this properly. You need a gaming computer, more or less. But in order to get started, you can have a low-end computer, and just to get started. And if you do, um, leave your stuff like this. It'll be better until you go into customize right here and go into scenery, and these right here, you might click it on, you might cut your game on, and you don't see no buildings. Okay, you don't see no buildings. You at an airport, but there are no buildings. These have to be set to like dense, at least dense, to make your buildings appear. It took me a while to figure that out. I had to actually ask somebody on it, on one of the things, and that was they said. A lot of the other stuff does not have to be so much, but they have people on the internet such as Doofer, DOOFER 911. Go to his site. He's has a whole lot of tutorials, and I learned a very lot from him. There are other people like Matt Davies and Cat Strader, and it's so many of them. If you own this right here and looking at my channel, go and look at my favorite videos or my subscribe list. If you can't look at that, let me know, and I'll get back to you. But this is very important if you want your buildings at the airport at least to show up right. Graphics, you got to play with it. If it's running the way it needs to run, it's running okay, I will leave it alone. Aircraft, if you want 3D cockpit, all this stuff you kind of have to play with. Scenery, I will leave it at default until you can, if it doesn't function right, start turning some of this stuff down. Weather, if you click download winds aloft real weather, you have to be on the internet, which sometimes I'm not. I just play this game without being on the internet or anything else. Traffic is how pretty much how you want, whatever you want. You want a lot of planes around you, then you pop that up. You want general aviation, the Cessnas and little small plane, pop that up. Your airport vehicle density, same thing, pretty much. Your boats in the water, I leave this low usually because I'm trying to concentrate all of mine on just the airport and the airplanes itself. So, and if I really just want to do, I don't want nobody around me, just me on the runway or whatever, I turn all of this stuff down. Everything down to low. Okay. There's one more thing I'm trying to get to. This right here, make sure that this box is not clicked on your little small computer. You can just put none, and you'll see the effects from it. Anyway, that is pretty much all. Like, subscribe, or comment. Go all the way to the bottom of the page and comment, good, bad, or ugly. I would like to know something so I can improve my videos. I know I'm talking loud, but I'm in a certain time constraint rather. And I will try to upload another video, look at your comments, and upload a video, and go by your comments and tell me what you want to see on it. Thank you, and have a blessed day.